The tick situation this year has gotten completely out of control. The news is warning people all day, every day. The thing people are searching for the most online is how do I deal with ticks? Because all it takes is one careless bite, and any one of us could end up like this man. He got bitten by a tick, caught Powassan virus, went to the hospital, and his condition went downhill fast. He couldn't talk, and even moving was hard. But don't panic. We can still protect ourselves from ticks. I'm Billy. I think I've got enough experience to talk about this because I live in Pennsylvania, one of the areas with the highest tick density in America. In the last video, I talked about diatomaceous earth and essential oils for repelling ticks. But honestly, that's not enough if you garden, hike in the woods, or go fishing. So today, I'm going to show you 5 practical methods I use to keep ticks from getting on me and my family when we go outside. And if you do get bitten, I'll also show you how to deal with a tick on your body so you can remove it more safely in a way you may have never seen before. The worst tick season America has ever gone through. I've been around yards, woods, dogs, and cats, tall grass, and wood piles for almost my whole life. And I can say this pretty confidently, this is the worst tick season in the last 40 years. And I'm not the only one saying that. Emergency rooms in America are seeing more tick bites than usual. The CDC has warned about it too. Most people already know about Lyme disease, but now there's also alpha-gal, the condition that can make you react to red meat, milk, gelatin, and things that come from mammals. Then there's Powassan virus, which is rarer, but if you get it, it's really scary. And it's not just people. Livestock, dogs, and outdoor animals are in danger too. There are new tick species, invasive ticks, and ticks clustering on animals. I'll say it straight, ticks aren't just a nuisance anymore, they're killers. But let me bring this closer to home. I've seen it right on my own porch. Most years I like to sit out on the porch for about half an hour just to relax. Totally normal. But this year is different. After just 30 minutes sitting there, I had to pull almost 20 ticks off myself. Almost 20 ticks. I wasn't hiking in the woods. I wasn't crawling through brush. I was just sitting on the porch. People always say ticks don't fly to you like mosquitoes. True. So where did those ticks come from? From the grass right next to the porch, from the dog running by, from the dead leaves, from a mouse that crossed the yard last night. I don't know for sure, with every single one. But I do know one thing: this season is bad. And if just sitting on the porch is already like that, imagine mowing the grass, gardening, fishing, hiking in the woods. You could run into twice as many, 5 times as many, maybe more. The scary part is you don't need 20 ticks to bite you. You only need to miss one tiny bite. And that can be enough to lead to Lyme alpha-gal fever allergies or things you may have to deal with for the rest of your life. But I'm not saying this to make you afraid to go outside. What I want is for you not to step outside the same way you did in past years. Try a few stronger ways to protect yourself, even if the internet doesn't talk about them much. Method 1. Treat your shoes and pant legs. My first rule is always to treat the legs first. This isn't a trick I learned from some video online. I learned it from my father. My father learned it from my grandfather. My family spent a lot of time in the woods, hunting, cutting firewood, building fences, dragging things through tall grass, cleaning up leaf piles after winter. And every time we were about to step into tall grass, my father would say one very simple thing: pay attention to your legs. Because ticks usually start down there, so I don't wait until they crawl up to my neck before I do something. I want to make things uncomfortable for them the moment they touch my shoes. An old trick in my family is sulfur powder. You don't need much. A little on the socks, a little around the top of the shoes, a little under the pant legs. Some people even sprinkle a very light amount around the waistband, especially when going into tall grass or places with chiggers. The idea is simple. If those are the paths ticks crawl through, then we make those paths harder to travel. But listen carefully here. Use just a little. Don't breathe it in. Don't get it in your eyes. If you've got small kids, dogs, or cats or skin that gets irritated easily, be even more careful. An old trick doesn't mean you use it carelessly. And sulfur powder doesn't replace proper clothing. Don't go mowing the lawn in flip-flops this season and then blame the tick for being smart. Closed shoes, tall socks, long pants. If you can wear light-colored clothes so it's easier to see those tiny black dots crawling on the fabric. If I have to go into tall grass, I also wrap tape around my ankles or the bottom of my pant legs. Some people wrap it to close the gap. Some people keep the sticky side facing out, so when a tick crawls up, it gets stuck right there. It looks a little silly, I know, but between looking a little silly out in the yard and pulling ticks off my groin that night, I'll choose looking silly. Method 2. Treat exposed skin. The second trick is Vicks, something that's always been in my family's medicine cabinet. My mother loved it the most. Stuffy nose, grab the Vicks. Cough, grab the Vicks. A little ache, grab the Vicks. Mosquito bite bugs bothering you out in the yard, she'd usually reach for Vicks first. And that habit has stayed with me to this day. I don't think of Vicks as a tick repellent. I'm not saying you put on Vicks and ticks will stay away from you completely. That's not what I mean. I only use it as an extra layer on the spots where skin is still exposed. After I've taken care of my shoe socks and pant legs, I pay attention to my ankles, wrists, the back of my neck, and around my collar. Those are the places clothing often leaves exposed. If ticks or insects have already crawled onto you, they often look for openings like that to keep going. I only use a little, around the ankles, right above the socks. A little on the wrists, a little on the back of the neck or around the collar if I have to work outside for a long time. I use it because the smell is strong, easy to notice, and it also reminds me that those spots need attention. But I'll say it again, this is only an extra layer. Don't use Vicks and then think you can wear shorts, put on flip-flops, walk into tall grass, and be fine. You've also got to be careful when using it. I don't put it near the eyes, inside the nose, around the mouth, or on open wounds. If your skin gets irritated easily, test a very small amount first. And still based on the scent idea, I've got one more method that lasts longer and works over time. Your grandparents may know this one too. Method 3. Body scent habits. Some things are things you do right before you go out into the yard, like the tricks I just mentioned. But some things are not done in a rush. The older folks in my family made them a season-long habit. Garlic is one example. My family uses a lot of garlic. My grandparents ate garlic with their meals. My father did too. When I was little, I did not think much of it. I just knew that every time the hot season came around, when the whole family was outside, more gardening, and going into the woods, more garlic was almost always on the table. Later on, I heard a lot of other people pass around the same idea. Gardeners, people who fish hunters, people who live in areas with a lot of mosquitoes and ticks. They say when they eat garlic more regularly, insects bother them less. Some people eat raw garlic. Some people cannot handle that, so they take garlic pills. Some people soak garlic in honey. Some people just put more garlic in their food. I like the last way best because it is easier to keep doing over time. But let me be clear, do not eat garlic and then wear shorts, put on flip-flops, walk into tall grass, and think you are fine. That is not how it works. Garlic, if it works for you, is only one small extra layer. Besides garlic, you can also try chili cinnamon, vitamin B, one brewer's yeast, vitamin C, and zinc. The idea is basically the same. But do not just take things randomly. Do not take high doses just because you read one comment online. If you have a health condition, are taking medication, have a weak stomach, or cannot tolerate garlic, it is fine to skip it. Even if you eat garlic every day, you still have to take care of your shoes, socks, and pant legs, and you still have to check your body when you come inside. Because sooner or later, one tick may still get through. You look down and see it crawling on your pants, on your hand, or on your leg. When that happens, do not flick it away. There is a much simpler way. Method 4. Use tape to remove ticks. No matter how careful you are, there will still be times when one tick gets through. Maybe it is crawling on your pant leg, maybe on your hand, maybe right on your ankle. When that happens, do not react on instinct and do not flick it away right away. because you will lose track of it. It can fall onto the floor, the car seat, the sofa, the blanket, or the dog's fur. If it is only crawling, I use tape. Press the tape onto the tick, lift it off, then fold the tape over. That is it. It does not fall somewhere in the house. It does not crawl into the car seat. It does not get another chance to find your skin. I like to keep tape by the back door in the car and in my gardening bag, because when I see a tick, I do not want to run around looking for supplies. I want to catch it while I can still see it. Now, if the tick has already bitten you, then you need to stay calmer. Do not squeeze its body. Do not burn it. Do not put oil on it. Do not put Vaseline on it. Do not use nail polish to force it to let go. Those tricks are not worth trying when the tick is already stuck in your skin. Use fine-tipped tweezers or a tick removal tool. Grab as close to the skin as you can, then pull with steady pressure. Do not twist. Do not yank hard. Your job is to get that tick out as cleanly as possible. After you remove it, wash the bite area and wash your hands. If possible, I like to save the tick in tape or a small bag. Not to panic, but so I know what I removed and what day I was bitten. Method 5. Use tick tubes to control ticks in the yard. Tape helps me handle the tick crawling right in front of me. But if you are seeing ticks every day, then the problem is not just that one tick anymore. The problem is that your yard has a tick source. That is when I think about tick tubes. A tick tube does not look special at all. It is just a small tube with soft material inside for mice to take back to their nests. It sounds a little strange, but that is exactly the smart part. A lot of people keep thinking ticks are because of deer. Deer are involved, yes. But around the yard, I pay attention to mice and small animals first. They run along fences, around wood piles under the shed, and through damp piles of leaves. And they can carry ticks all over your yard without you ever seeing it happen. Tick tubes use that exact habit. Mice take the material from the tube back to their nests. Ticks on the mice come into contact with the treated material, and over time, the number of ticks around that area may gradually go down. But put them where mice actually travel, near wood piles, near the shed, along the fence, at the edge of bushes, shady, hidden places where small animals have a path to run. Tick tubes are an outdoor layer. They help make the yard less of a tick breeding place, but they do not make the yard perfectly clean. So no matter what you have done outside when you step into the house, there is still one very important thing to do. What to do when you come inside. I remember something that happened near my home. That dog suddenly became weak in both back legs. At first it walked unsteadily, then it could barely stand. The whole family thought it was getting old or that something even more serious was going on. Then they found a tick on it. That tick had not just attached. It had been there long enough to feed swell up and become easy to see. After the tick was removed and the dog was watched closely, it started getting better. That story stuck with me because ticks do not just bother people. They can also cause serious problems for pets. So when the dog comes inside, I part the fur and look carefully. I check around the ears, the neck, under the collar, the belly, the armpits, and between the toes. If the fur is thick, I may use a hairdryer on the cool setting or a gentle warm setting to blow the fur apart so I can see the skin more easily. Clothes are the same way. I do not sit down on the couch wearing clothes that just went through tall grass. If I think ticks may be on them, those clothes go straight into the clothes dryer before washing. I already made a separate video about the dryer, and you can go back and watch it for more detail. Because if you miss one tick, the next thing you need to know is when to worry, when to watch it, and when to call a doctor. What to do after a tick bite. This is the part everybody wants to skip, because once you hear about sickness after a tick bite, you are already tired of it. Everybody wants to think that once you remove the tick wash the area a little and move on, that is the end of it. I understand that feeling. But that is not what I do. If I get bitten by a tick, I remove it the right way, wash the bite area, and then remember a few things. What day is it today? Where on my body did the tick bite me? What was I doing before that? Mowing, hauling, firewood, gardening, fishing, or just sitting on the porch If needed, I take a picture of the bite, because later on you may need it when you see a doctor. Lyme is not the only thing. Some diseases move slowly, some move fast. Some do not give you a clear sign right at the beginning. And there is one more thing many people still do not know about alpha-gal. After a tick bite, some people start having strange reactions to beef, pork, lamb, and sometimes even milk or gelatin. The frustrating part is that the reaction can come several hours after the meal. So a lot of people do not connect dinner with the tick bite they had weeks earlier. If after eating those things you get hives, stomach pain, trouble breathing, swelling in the face, or you just feel really off, tell your doctor that you were bitten by a tick. This tick season has really made me stay more alert. I'm not saying that to make you afraid of your own backyard, and I don't want you to hear this and then be scared to garden, scared to go fishing, or scared to step out onto the porch. Living like that is exhausting, but I do want you not to get careless. Ticks are small, but the problems they cause are not small. If you miss just one, sometimes you can pay for it for a very long time. So get ready before you go outside. Pay attention while you're out there. Take care of your clothes, your pets, and your body when you come back inside. And if you get bitten, keep a proper eye on your body. I also want to hear from you. Are ticks worse where you live this year? What state are you in? Are you seeing them in the backyard, in the woods, out in the grass, or on the dogs and cats in the house? And if you have any trick you've used for years, share it below. That trick might help somebody else. If you find these tips useful, subscribe to the channel. I'll keep talking about the ways I know, the old tricks and the practical things you can do around the house and out in the yard to do my small part in this fight against ticks. I hope we can still garden, walk in the woods, sit out on the porch, and always come back home healthy.